शीर्षक रहेको छ वाटर रिसर्च इन एसोसिएसन विथ सस्टेनेबल डेभलपमेन्ट गोल। हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ डाक्टर तिस्ता प्रधान जोशी नास्टबाट। डाक्टर तिस्ता प्रधान जोशी इज अ सिनियर साइन्टिस्ट एट द Nepal Academy of Science and Technology for the last 19 years. Dr. Tista's research is focused on drinking water quality and purification, which appears in many leading journals such as Water Research, Chemical Engineering Journal, Journal of Hazardous Material, and Science of Total Environment. She advocates gender equity in science and promotes women scientists in Nepal. She is a founding member of Women Scientists Forum Nepal, WSFN, active member of OWSD Nepal chapter, and life member of Women in Science and Technology, WIST Nepal. So I would like to welcome Dr. Joshi. The floor is yours for your presentation. हजुर म्युट हुनुहुन्छ तिस्ता म्याम।
Yeah, okay. Now I'm audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. नमस्कार सबैजनालाई र युनेस्को युथ साइन्टिस्ट फोरम नेपाल, नेपाल फोरम अफ साइन्स जर्नलिस्टका सबै साथीहरूलाई म सर्वप्रथम धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु यो अवसर प्रदान गरिदिनु भएकोमा। र सायद यहाँ हाम्रो एटेन्डिजहरुमा कोही नेपाली नबुझ्ने भएकोले गर्दाखेरि म यो बोथ वेमा चाहिँ प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्न जाँदैछु। यसको सन्दर्भमा अलिकति हाम्रो प्राजलजीले एसडीजी को बारेमा प्रष्ट रूपमा चाहिँ एकदमै जनरल तरिकाले प्रस्तुति गर्नु भएको छ, धेरै राम्रोसँग। उहाँलाई पनि धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। र अब मैले आफ्नो प्रस्तुतिमा चाहिँ बेसी म वाटरमै केन्द्रित हुन चाहन्छु। त्यसको लागि चाहिँ मैले बेसिक साइन्स is very important for the water research भन्न चाहन्छु र यसैबाट म सुरु गर्न चाहन्छु। Okay, first of all, happy International Science Day. Today we celebrate STEAM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, and their importance in today's world for future's tomorrow. And now I'm talking about the water resources in Nepal. We have abundant natural water resources. The surface water available in the country is estimated to the 225 billion metric cubic meter per annum, out of which only 15 billion cubic meters are in use. And we have numbers of lakes, abundant numbers of the lakes, and it's 5,358, and also the river. Beside that, we have also large volume of the groundwaters, aquifers, which are estimated to be 8.8 billion cubic meter annually, which can be used for irrigation and domestic use. And what are the challenges? Even though we have abundant natural resources and we are also rich in water resources, but there are many challenges for achieving the target of SDG. The world is rapidly moving towards the global water crisis. Water resources are critical for the existence of all life forms on Earth and play an important role in the economic development of a country. Deterioration of a water quality due to the unplanned urbanization, untreated sewage and industrial effluent discarded, improperly managed landfill, poor sanitation and pollution sources like fertilizer, pesticides from the agricultural source is a main concern. Here you can see in the pictures of the stone spout of the Lalitpur area, and also the dumping of the waste in the riverside and overpopulation of the Kathmandu Valley. The high population growth and rapid urbanization have further increased pressure on freshwater resources, resulting in decreased water availability. Highest water demanding sector are agriculture and followed by the industrial and domestic use. Because of the poor management and inadequate utilization of the water resources causing severe water shortage. The main climate change consequences related to the water resources are increase in temperature, shift in precipitation patterns, snow covers, decrease of the snow cover and the sea level rising, and likely increase in the frequency of flooding and drought. You can see here in the pictures also, pictures speaks a lot, and here in the father save a lot of money for his son, but this is useless if we don't have enough water or other resources. Then fight today for a better tomorrow. This is very important, and we should raise the voice about this. Fight today for a better tomorrow, and water resources is very important and indispensable for the life. And all goal of the SDGs 6 are linked with water. Reaching SDG 6 in water and sanitation is fundamentally important. And the one important saying is very much important for all of us. A better world works but only if we act fast. I like this quotation. I found it somewhere, and this is very important. Water, because as Prajolji already mentioned about the failure of the SDGs. Therefore, we have to work hard to achieve these goals. And to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal target for the water sector, the government of Nepal is investing in several water-related infrastructure development across the country. And all goals of SDG are linked with water. And in this regard, a failure to deliver the SDG 6 can threaten the 2030 agenda. Here you can see in the figure, no poverty. If we don't have enough water, then what happened? If no, what happened to the agriculture system? What about the quality education, gender equality? Likewise in clean energy. Likewise, climate change effect. I have already mentioned about it. Therefore, the 16 goals are the primary factors which is linked with the water. And this is very much critical and important. Therefore, we have to work on it. Science lies at the root of sustainable development and is a key to new solution for addressing SDG 6. Science can make a valuable contribution to better understanding and identifying a relevant option for SDG implementation. SDG aim at providing these fundamental necessities to everyone through the intelligent use of sustainable science. Therefore, problem solving can be broken down into a number of separate components, each of which requires information and analysis. As Prajolji already mentioned that research is global and service is local. Therefore, we have to work on it from all over the world to achieve this goal. Therefore, monitoring and evaluation of this action and outcome is very important to achieve all these kinds of goals. What are our initiatives to achieve this SDG 6? Now, I'm basically talking about my research work conducted in the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology. Here is my research group. 3 of them are the Ph.D. students and others are the research assistant master's students. They all are focused on the water related work. And we are just focused on the service related oriented work, research oriented and education, basically for mentoring them, and also lab to land. Here, we have provided the water quality services to general public since 2002. And we not only provide the service, we also aware about the water quality and the problem, and also give some kinds of suggestions to solve the problem. And here in this, microbial contamination of groundwater is a significant problem, particularly when it is directly consumed for drinking without any treatment. Here you can see the figures of the 10 years data from 2009 to 2019. It shows that most of the water, more than 90% samples were contaminated with the coliform bacteria. Results clearly show that the deteriorating condition of the groundwater of the Kathmandu Valley and the limited availability, accessibility and deterioration of water quality in Kathmandu Valley have led to the high demand of the groundwater. Therefore, regular monitoring and treatment of the groundwater is recommended before use. Here are some of the examples our research conducted in our research laboratory, environment research laboratory, even though we have very less facilities, less support, but we did it our best. And from this result also show that from the 3 different sites, Tarkesur, Balkot and Kerukel, most of the samples contaminated with the coliform. In Balkot area, 100% of the samples were contaminated with the coliform bacteria. And likewise, the Bactobus samples also show that there is found of the E. coli, Enterobacteria, Enterococcus, and others waterborne bacteria. And another problem, the major problem, is antibiotic resistant pattern. Here we have seen the antibiotic resistant pattern in the groundwater of the Kathmandu Valley, also shown that there is some kind of the antibiotic resistant bacteria found in the water. And also the multi-drug resistant bacteria is also found in the Bagmati River. And besides the water quality, we have also analyzed the arsenic content. Here you can see the highest amount of arsenic also found in the groundwater of the Lalitpur area. Even though they are not using this water, they used to treat the water before using it, but the arsenic level is also high found in the Kathmandu area. And in our Nepal Academy of Science and Technology have also provided the scientific village program, also conducted a scientific village program. In that program, last year, I myself conducted the different collected water sample from the village area. This is Siransuk village, and collected the 13 number of samples. And during that time, I used to talk about the water quality with the villager also, but they said that our water quality is very good and not have any even problem. But after testing the water quality, I found that most of the samples were contaminated with the bacteria. But our other parameters, they are quite good. And we did several tested parameters in our laboratory. And this is also one of the success story of my lab, recent story. There's one of my PhD, I'm also one of the co-supervisor of Ms. Dr. Rajeshwari Mallapradhan, who is recently graduated and published a paper on microplastic, because research on microplastic concentration in aquatic environment is attracting many scientists. But these research are just started from the Nepal. Very few research are conducted about the microplastic, and here you can see the different kinds of the fragment fiber, as well as other kinds, separated in different terms of the size, as well as the color, and also the polymer type, and which was published in the Environment Science and Pollution Research, and also recently published in Water, Air and Soil Pollution. And we have not only concentrated to collect the water sample in just only in the urban areas, but also my students reached to the Himlung Himal. They are students from the Nepal Mountain Academy and students from the chemistry, reached to the Dadel Dhura, Pokhara. The students are from the America, geological science student, and also Kankai River. And my researchers are analyzing water quality from the Kathmandu Valley. Also, not only the water quality of the groundwater, also focus on the bottled water and stone spout of the Kathmandu Valley. And besides the water quality, they are also focused on the wastewater quality research. The two of the PhD scholars are mainly focused on microbial community structure and antibiotic resistance in hospital wastewater. Here also, recently we went to the Sistole area to collect the leachate samples from the municipality. Actually, after appointment of the Mir Balin, we went to Sistole. But we went to Sistole in 2010 also and conducted the research during the time of Dr. Bhuzu also. At that time, he was the chief of the Faculty of Science. And we are not only focused on the water quality research and showing the problem, but also trying to do research on the problem solving. And last year in 2009, 3 years back in 2019, I have gotten a grant from the UNESCO-OWSD. From this grant, I have conducted the research on purification and prepare the different kind of chemical adsorbent as well as bioadsorbent for the removal of the organic arsenic and inorganic arsenic. And from that grant, I also installed one of the very important equipment in our laboratory, and also gave a service to number of research institute, universities, and also analyzed the samples free of cost, because I thought that I got this as a grant, as a support, so that I also like to support to the other researchers, because doing science in Nepal is not so easy. Therefore, I would like to support to the researchers in many aspects, and they have also published the papers, and also working on the removal of turbidity. And then after doing the research, we also did several kind of the awareness program, lab to land research oriented for the safe drinking water and sanitation practices. This is also very important for the general public, to also the policy makers. Here I am explaining the treatment technology to the at that time Deputy Prime Minister about the water treatment, which was in 2019 here in Siranso. Gorkha also conducting the water awareness campaign, like, as well as I'm also involved in teachers training program, and talk about the water qualities in various aspects. And also write not only a journal article. I have published more than 50 journal paper in peer-reviewed journal. But also, I thought that this is also important to write our views in Nepali language. It will be easier for others. And these are some messages which is very important. I thought in order to achieve SDG, water-associated goals must be targeted, which water research could be important asset. There are challenges in water research in Nepal. However, we have to face them and come out of them. I have already mentioned that doing research in Nepal is not so easy, but we are trying our best. Sufficient funds must be invested in water research. There are tremendous opportunities in water research in Nepal. However, there is a need to invite more researchers in this sector. And most importantly, behavioral changes are also required for a new water culture and the attainment of water and sanitation goal by 2030. And thank you. I would like to thank my young researchers, my students, and my academy for providing this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasai. I really appreciate that how you have kept water in the central, because water literally connects all the physically interdependent system in the earth. And I should also appreciate how you are becoming a very pertinent scientist, but at the same time, you're also helping others to become such important personnel in the scientific arena of Nepal. And I should also appreciate how you are focusing on the science communication, because science should not just be limited to the research paper, but also should go to the community. And I think this will also be a matter of interest to our NFSJ team present over here. So now I could see a question for you. The question on the chat box, it's from Ramchandra Bhatta. He says, okay. Yeah, can you read the question? The climate change that directly affect Himalayan region snow, maybe in the future Nepal also facing the problem of the surface water if the global warming goes on. So what is the solution? So he especially want to understand the surface water of the Nepal in context of climate change. Have you covered such research in your study, Dr. Prasai?
नेपालीमै भनौँ होइन त के छ रामचन्द्रजी धन्यवाद होइन अब हामीले रिसर्चको एस्पेक्टहरू दायराहरू बढाइरहेका छौँ obviously climate change not only यो वाटरको क्वालिटीमा surface waterमा ground waterमा affect पारेकै हुन्छ होइन त्यसको इफेक्टहरू हामीले अहिले पनि हामीले चाहिँ भोगिरहेका छौँ। जस्तै अब अस्ति हामीले दसैँकै बेलामा चाहिँ एकदमै बेसरी पानी पऱ्यो, जो एकदमै अनयुजुअल तरिका छ होइन। अब हामीले फर्दर अझ मोर रिसर्च हामी यसमा गर्न पनि सक्छौँ र मोर रिसर्चरलाई इन्भल्भ गराएर फ्युचरमा हुने प्रब्लमहरूलाई चाहिँ कसरी सल्भ गर्ने भन्नेतिर लाग्ने कोसिस गर्दैछौँ र यसमा सबै रिसर्चर सबै पोलिसी मेकर्सहरूको सहयोग र साथ रह्यो भने हामी चाहिँ काम गर्नको लागि रिसर्च गर्नको लागि सधैँ तत्पर नै छौँ।
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasai. दुवैजनाको चाहिँ access in terms of communication is available in the Google if you want to know more about both of their work, because both of them are very pertinent scientists with lots of scientific articles published so far. You can communicate with them, and maybe both of you would like to drop your email address or your other links to your profile also in the chat box. So now we would like to move forward towards the closing session of this